On July 30, 2025, in North Little Rock, Arkansas, Trooper Tyler Riles spotted a Ford F-250 committing a traffic violation near Highway 107. But the moment the trooper activated his lights and attempted a traffic stop, the driver suddenly floored the accelerator and fled, sparking a high-speed pursuit, exciting the way to the gates of Little Rock Air Force Base. Streets all the way to the gates of Little Rock Air Force Base. The F-250 continued tearing through traffic at speeds exceeding 100 mph, weaving aggressively between vehicles and repeatedly crossing into oncoming lanes to avoid congestion. The dashcam footage captured the suspect passing cars over double yellow lines and charging through blind hills while driving directly in the opposite lane of traffic. During the pursuit, the Toyota Tacoma was even forced off the roadway to avoid a head-on collision with the out-of-control pickup truck. The pursuit ended at the rear gate of Little Rock Air Force Base when the suspect veered off the highway, crashed through a chain-link gate, and slammed into a concrete barrier after nearly hitting a white Jeep Wrangler. Even after the crash disabled the F-250, the suspect tried to flee on foot. Trooper Riles chased him down and deployed his tolters multiple times before the suspect while complaining of back pain, and was taken into custody while complaining of back pain. The suspect was later identified as Zachary Brinson, was taken to Baptist Medical Center for a medical checkup before being transferred to the center. Brinson was later booked into the Pulaski County Jail and faced multiple serious charges, including felony fleeing, reckless driving, resisting arrest, destruction of public property, and outstanding warrants. Although no drugs were reported, the suspect's reckless actions turned both off the highway and a military attempt to escape. Some people believe speed can break through any barrier. Some people believe speed can break through any outrun. Until they hit the one no vehicle can outrun. After weeks of investigating a series of heavy equipment thefts across Florida, the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office issued a BOLO for a stolen black Dodge Ram towing nearly $100,000 worth of construction equipment. On June 9, 2025, deputies spotted the truck traveling along Highway 70. But instead of pulling over, the driver immediately sped off, triggering a multi-county pursuit involving the Florida Highway Patrol. Dodge Ram continued speeding down Highway 70 while towing heavy equipment, making the pursuit far more dangerous than usual. DeSoto County deputies stayed close behind as Florida Highway Patrol units joined in to prevent the stolen truck from reaching heavier traffic areas. With the massive sudden turn or lane change risked sending the entire rig out, of control and causing a serious highway crash.
He recovered back. It's going westbound on 731.
As the pursuit stretched across multiple areas, troopers began using close contact tactics to force the Dodge Ram to stop. Dashcam footage showed FHP units coordinating constant pressure before finally bringing the stolen truck under control and ending the chase. The suspect was taken into custody without serious injuries to the public, bringing an end to a weeks-long string of construction equipment thefts. The suspect was later identified as 40-year-old Yam Pereira Nunez, who had a lengthy criminal history in Florida involving multiple large-scale construction equipment thefts. He faced serious charges related to fleeing and resisting arrest before later being taken into ICE custody due to deportation concerns. Notably, less than a year after this incident, Pereira Nunez was arrested again following another pursuit involving a stolen Corvette. Some people spend their entire lives running from the law, but the longer they run, the heavier the consequences usually become when they're finally caught. The entire incident was captured on Axon Body 3 bodycam footage on August 28, 2024, revealing the chaotic and up-close perspective law enforcement faced during the pursuit. In Highlands County, the bizarre chase erupted after deputies spotted a Toyota Corolla towing a trailer that suddenly accelerated instead of complying with a traffic stop. The suspect quickly left the main roadway and tore through orange groves near Hicks Road, attempting to lose deputies in the tight, dust-filled terrain.
East on Hicks. Roadway's clear. Taking the trail off of Hicks.
The Corolla, still towing the trailer, continued bouncing across the rough orange grove terrain as deputies stayed close behind. Despite the vehicle being completely unsuited for an off-road chase, the suspect kept accelerating through narrow dirt paths and fencing around the groves in a desperate attempt to escape. When cornered at a dead end, the driver suddenly threw the patrol vehicle in a final attempt to break free. After the collision, the Corolla became trapped against a fence and was unable to continue moving. Deputies immediately drew their weapons and ordered the suspect to step out of the vehicle. When the door failed to open, the suspect was forced to climb out through the window, but was quickly taken into custody as soon as he exited the vehicle. During the extraction, his leg became stuck, causing a brief moment of chaos before he was successfully handcuffed. After being arrested, the suspect repeatedly apologized and complained of pain, while law enforcement officers emphasized the seriousness of the initial crash and the danger it posed.
Shouldn't have fucking drove with you, stupid motherfucker. Broke down, man. You stupid bitch. You know you could've fucking killed me? That was fucking stupid. That's unfortunate, pal. Bring your leg out.
I can't.
Bring your leg out.
You broke it, man. I can't move it. I can't move it, literally. I can't move this leg at all. I'm so sorry, like, real man.
Come to your side.
My fucking leg.
Good. Step forward. We're fucking dumb. Here, stand forward. You just kind of back out. Just put it like that. Stand forward. Yeah, blue time, clear the channel, clear time, clear the
The suspect was later identified as David Kingsley Jr. He was arrested at the scene and later transported for medical evaluation before being booked into Highlands County Jail. A search of the Toyota Corolla reportedly uncovered suspected methamphetamine along with drug paraphernalia. Kingsley Jr. now faces multiple felony charges, including aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, fleeing and eluding, and possession of methamphetamine. No official sentencing information has been released at this time. The pursuit ultimately ended with the Corolla wedged against a fence in an orange grove, and a suspect repeatedly saying, "I'm sorry," while being handcuffed on the ground. On June 25, 2025, in Miami-Dade County, a trooper with the Florida Highway Patrol working alongside Homeland Security investigations spotted a gray Toyota RAV4 whose driver was not wearing a seatbelt near NW 87th Avenue and SR 836. When the trooper activated his emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop, the RAV4 initially pulled over onto the SR 836 ramp. But just as the officer approached the driver's door, the suspect suddenly slammed on the gas and took off. The RAV4 sped eastbound before merging onto the southbound exit ramp of SR 826, while the trooper continuously updated dispatch with the pursuit location. Only seconds later, units with the Florida Highway Patrol closed in behind the vehicle and executed a pit maneuver in an attempt to end the chase before the suspect could reach heavier traffic on the Miami freeway system. The SUV spun out of control, slammed hard into an RV, and then crashed into a concrete wall along the roadway. Even though the RAV4 had been nearly disabled, the suspect still tried to continue fleeing, forcing the trooper to use intentional contact against the passenger side door to stop the vehicle from moving again. Moments later, the driver climbed out through the window and ran across the concrete median on SR 826. The trooper deployed a Taser 7, but missed the target before agents with Homeland Security investigations quickly rushed in and subdued the suspect directly on the highway. The suspect was later identified as Nelson Jose Gomez Leon, born in 1988. He was transported to HCA Florida Doral Emergency Center for medical evaluation before being transferred to at Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center. Leon is currently facing charges related to fleeing and eluding, as well as reckless driving, following a chase that resulted in multiple vehicle damages. What started as nothing more than a seatbelt violation ultimately ended with a heavily damaged SUV, a foot pursuit across active highway lanes, and a pair of handcuffs waiting at the end of the road.
1119. Fire rescue to the northbound side.
At approximately 2:30 p.m. on December 12, 2024, along Interstate 95 in St. Lucie County, Trooper Michael Diego with the Florida Highway Patrol spotted a blue Toyota Highlander traveling close to 100 mph in a 70 mph zone. When the trooper activated his lights and siren to initiate a traffic stop, the driver refused to comply and immediately accelerated to speeds exceeding 110 mph, triggering a high-speed pursuit across 2 Florida counties.
We're about to get off the right side.
Highlander aggressively weaved across every lane of traffic, including the shoulder, to pass vehicles, while traffic remained heavy on I-95. When Trooper Wade joined the pursuit near mile marker 1:45, the pit T maneuver was attempted, but it failed after the suspect managed to regain control and continue fleeing. After exiting onto SR-60, the driver began running multiple red lights at major intersections in an effort to shake pursuing units with the Florida Highway Patrol. Near the area of 66th Avenue, the Highlander lost control, crossed over the median, cut through oncoming lanes of traffic, and slammed into a light pole before finally coming to a stop in the parking lot of Autumn's Crab. The suspect immediately fled on foot toward Vista Plantation Golf Club, prompting units from the Florida Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Office to launch a search around the area. After a K-9 unit was brought to the scene, the suspect eventually emerged from hiding and surrendered without further resistance. The suspect was later identified as Furman Shaquille Green, who was reportedly driving with a suspended license and had an active warrant at the time of the pursuit. After his arrest, deputies also discovered marijuana in his possession. Green now faces multiple felony charges, including high-speed fleeing and eluding, reckless driving, and possession of marijuana, with the possibility of several years in prison if convicted. The pursuit came to an end when the suspect stepped out from behind a dumpster and surrendered with his hands raised as officers closed in around him. On June 20, 2024, along the Florida Turnpike in St. Lucie County, Trooper Elvis Nolasco with the Florida Highway Patrol Criminal Interdiction Unit spotted a white Mercedes-Benz sedan with heavily tinted windows traveling northbound. After running the license plate, the trooper discovered that the registered owner had a suspended driver's license and a registration suspension order. But as soon as the patrol lights and siren were activated near mile marker 147, the driver immediately accelerated and fled instead of pulling over. The Mercedes began weaving aggressively through traffic, even using the shoulder to pass vehicles as speeds continued to climb. After exiting onto SR-70 and then merging onto southbound I-95, the driver suddenly cut across every lane of traffic and attempted an illegal U-turn through the grassy median, colliding with a dark-colored SUV in the process. Despite causing the crash, the suspect managed to regain control and continued fleeing down the interstate. When the Mercedes exited onto SR-70 for a second time, Trooper Nolasco successfully executed a pit maneuver, sending the vehicle spinning out of control. But after seeing the suspect still attempting to flee, the trooper immediately used intentional contact to fully disable the car. The impact also sent the patrol vehicle crashing into several road signs, briefly trapping Trooper Nolasco alongside the suspect vehicle during a tense few seconds. Moments later, K-9 Trooper Yepes and K-9 Uno arrived to assist with the felony stop before both suspects were pulled from the vehicle and placed in handcuffs at the scene.
bitch, you come back here! Driver, get the out of the car! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Child! Walk back towards me! Walk back towards me!
The driver was later identified as Derek Danavon Taylor Jr. and the passenger as William Wade Woods. Police found cocaine, oxycodone, MDMA, marijuana, and various paraphernalia. Drugs were found inside the Mercedes-Benz sedan. Both men now face multiple serious felony charges related to fleeing the scene, reckless driving, and drug possession. The chase ultimately ended amidst a pile of broken road signs on the highway exit, with the two suspects handcuffed next to a wrecked Mercedes.
I hit him multiple times and I hit the...
On November 29, 2025, in South Carolina, a trooper spotted a gray SUV traveling 81 mph in a 65 mph zone along SC 31. When the officer activated emergency lights near Robert Grissom Parkway to initiate a traffic stop, the driver refused to comply and instead continued fleeing through multiple roadways around Horry County.
Get out of the fucking car! Get out of the car!
After exiting onto SC 22 and then merging onto SC 90, the suspect unexpectedly came to a stop along secondary 31, prompting the trooper to exit the vehicle, draw his firearm, and issue commands for the driver to step out. However, just seconds later, the SUV suddenly accelerated again and fled northbound. As Horry County deployed stop sticks near the Waccamaw River area, the suspect abruptly swerved left and allegedly attempted to drive directly toward Corporal Dozier, who was positioning the tire deflation device. In response, Corporal Dozier was forced to jump over the guardrail to avoid being struck, while the pursuit continued for a short time afterward.
Back on, get there. He's up in the here. Or if he's driving backwards on primary, he can try to hit down here. I'll take it well.
Take him out.
After the suspect's vehicle allegedly charged at the deputy, troopers immediately moved to disable the SUV before the situation escalated further. A PT maneuver was successfully deployed, causing the vehicle to spin sideways, but the suspect continued fleeing by reversing at high speed on public roads. Recognizing the imminent danger to both the public and pursuing officers, the trooper made a second intentional strike on the SUV, forcing both vehicles off the roadway and bringing the pursuit to an end. The suspect then exited the vehicle and attempted to flee on foot, but was quickly chased down, tackled, and handcuffed within moments by the trooper.
Stay there, do not move. Huh? She's just detained right now. I just want her taken off, and everybody else out of the vehicle. You good? I'm good, man. Yes.
The suspect was later booked into J. Rubin Long Detention Center and held pending additional serious charges, including attempted murder following the alleged attempt to strike Corporal Dozier with the vehicle, resisting arrest, and failure to stop for blue lights. Investigators also confirmed that the suspect was wanted by the Horry County Sheriff's Office and probation and parole authorities at the time of the incident. The pursuit ultimately ended in a roadside drainage ditch, with the SUV heavily damaged in the front. The attempt to evade police by driving in reverse only escalated the situation, leading to a complete loss of control and the conclusion of the chase. At approximately 3:57 p.m. on October 4, 2025 in Hot Springs, the Arkansas State Police received information regarding a black Dodge Charger displaying a fictitious license plate and suspected of being connected to a Walmart theft. When Trooper Rideout activated his emergency lights and initiated a stop on Martin Luther King Jr. bypass, the driver initially appeared to comply, activating hazard lights and pulling to the shoulder. However, as the trooper approached the driver's side window, the suspect suddenly accelerated and fled the scene. The Charger immediately fled the stop, running a red light at the Malvern Avenue intersection before re-entering the MLK bypass at high speed. With Trooper Rideout maintaining the primary pursuit, the vehicle weaved through traffic and repeatedly used the shoulder to pass other cars, creating a highly dangerous situation for surrounding motorists. After exiting onto Highway 70 East at exit 11A, the driver began to lose control of the high-powered muscle car, with the vehicle repeatedly sliding sideways across the roadway as stability deteriorated. The Charger struck a guardrail, spun 360 degrees, and came to a stop directly in front of the patrol vehicle. Trooper Rideout collided with the passenger side, disabling both vehicles. The suspect then fled on foot into the wooded area along Highway 70, while responding units worked to extract and assist two trapped passengers inside the vehicle. The Arkansas State Police and Hot Springs Police Department quickly secured the area and established a perimeter, and the suspect was later apprehended shortly thereafter without further incident.
My arm. I can't get on. I can stand up, bro. Hey, yeah, black belt. Hey, black belt. Green shorts. Ran this way. We're right here on the exit ramp of MLK 70.
The driver was identified as Cavanta Hampton. Due to injuries sustained by a passenger during the pursuit, Hampton's charges were elevated to felony fleeing with injury, along with additional offenses including fleeing on foot, criminal mischief, and serious traffic violations. Investigators also determined that all three occupants of the vehicle were allegedly connected to the initial theft case being handled by the Hot Springs Police Department. The pursuit ultimately ended with a Charger spinning out across the highway, one injured passenger, and a heavy consequence stemming from a decision to flee at the very first traffic stop. In Arkansas, a dark-colored Mazda 3 turned the streets into a chaotic scene after the driver refused to stop and sped away. According to the pursuing units, the Mazda showed signs of damage and was swerving before police activated their hazard lights, quickly escalating into an extremely dangerous chase. Pursuit, the Mazda weaved through multiple roads, narrowly avoiding several collisions with civilian traffic. Troopers deployed a series of PT maneuvers in an attempt to spin the vehicle out, but in a surprising display of control, the driver repeatedly recovered after each impact and continued accelerating. The situation escalated into a chaotic high-speed chase, with multiple patrol units sustaining damage or becoming involved in minor collisions while attempting to maintain close proximity to the suspect vehicle. After evading multiple PT attempts, the Mazda eventually began to lose control following several collisions with other vehicles, including a white truck. Law enforcement units quickly closed in, boxed the vehicle in, and brought it to a stop amid a debris-filled roadway. As officers approached, the driver appeared to be in an impaired or confused state, despite the vehicle still running with significant front-end damage. Moments later, the suspect suddenly opened the door and fled on foot from the scene. As soon as he attempted to flee on foot, the suspect was quickly pursued and apprehended by a coordinated police unit within minutes before he could escape the scene. After being arrested, the suspect was handcuffed on the spot and taken to the police station for processing according to regulations. The chase officially ended when the Mazda was completely disabled and the suspect was taken into custody.